Our clients DJ and Sue sit down for a great interview. They discuss their large recreation pond and what it was like working at Pond King Water Gardens.
The first idea was we're going to have grandkids, and we were thinking how can we bring the grandkids here? So you need fun. And we were thinking about a pool, classic pool that smells chlorine and you have to work and have some stuff. And we didn't like that. We want something really well integrated in the backyard. So we didn't know that the concept of swimming pond, we didn't know it. And so we were looking a little bit on different shows, landscape and stuff like that. And I think it's where we meet you and Nick. And we talk about that, and you said, no, you can have a swimming pool without chlorine and without the smell and without the work. And we like that.
But it wasn't fast. It took us a couple of years. We looked, we thought about it, but when we saw Pond King at the Home and Garden show, we thought it was
because we never think about that. So you need to educate yourself to feel the concept, to talk to you. We visit a few of your clients, and we discover something different.
I have a good answer.
Yeah, I have a good too. So I go first. First of all, people like you don't exist. When you deal, and then you have this idea, you deal with landscape people, so they know how to dig a hole, and they know how to put some rock, but they don't have the entire concept. When you talk about, cascade and filtration, and you say, oh, I want the water, I want to jump in it and play, they don't get it. They get about the hard work, but they don't get the water work.
We've talked to different contractors. We've had a couple come and look, and we had given them our ideas of what we would like to see for a water feature, for a waterfall. We explained that one of our favorite places to go is the Boundary Waters, and we love the sounds of the sounds and the looks of the natural waterfalls and such. And so contractors would come here, we would explain what we would like, and we would kind of get the feeling of,
are you silly?
Yeah, it's kind of a crazy idea, and it's a huge idea, and how are you going to bring the Boundary Waters into your backyard? So we went to the Home and Garden show where we saw the Pond King display, and we went and we saw Nick, and he just started talking. He wasn't trying to sell us a pond, he wasn't trying to sell us the stuff, he was just telling us what he likes to do. And he put so much energy into it, and he had so much pleasure discussing.
But when the big difference when you talk to classic companies that do landscape, you have to tell them what to do. And because you don't know, because you never did that, you are waiting from them to tell you what to do. And it was a big difference when we talked to Nick. I said, oh, I would like that. And he said, oh yeah, I would like that and that and that, and I will do that and that, and oh, I picture that, you do that. I say, yes, this is what I want. Oh, you're going ahead of me, and I like that. And after I can modify, I can say to Nick, no, I don't like that. Oh yeah, okay, we do that. So in his mind, he had 2,000 different solutions to my wish, and I like that. So this is the result, that's it. For me, it was like going to a class. The title of the class is How You Build a Swimming Pond. Because, sometimes you have idea and Nick will say, oh, I know what you want, but it's not how we will do that. So I can express a little bit what I would like, but he clearly is a master in how to do that. And I don't pretend to know as much as he does, but now I understand a few things about, pond filtration, fish. When I look at my pond, I say, oh, we can put 10 fish. He laughed, and he said, no, you can put 300 fish. I said, no way. So I went and buy 10 fish. I didn't have fish. It was like nothing. So So I say, okay, I understand. So it was a learning, clearly a class, a learning for, we spent, 2 months or 2 months and a half. Well, it was a class.
But what Nick and Justin were here for, and their team, they were here for 2 months, June through August.
Yeah,
and it's a big
something like
project, and every day they're coming at the right time, they're leaving at the right time. Some days were massive hot, and they were still here. And something that we thought was cool through the whole process is you have hot days, you have hard work, and the whole team was laughing, working well together, and they were having fun professionally, and it was really cool that you never felt like they were here and mad because we have to do another hard day of work. It's a cool environment to be every day, and did their best to keep the whole yard as clean as possible through a big construction project like that. It's a big deal. It's important because it's your whole backyard for the summer, and your trucks coming or tools coming and going, and good job of not making a mess.
My big surprise was you believe that you're building something that is a massive pond and it's quite dead. It's not moving. You have water. We have like 30,000 gallons of water, and we can jump on it. It's not that. It's alive. Everything is alive. And the cascade bring more life to it. So you're not coming here and saying, oh, it's nice to see. No, you are part of it. You have fish, you have baby fish, you have frogs, you have duck coming, and so it's really an amazing, I would say, small, how would we say that? Ecosystem. And when you look, you open your eyes, it's a pleasure. It's full of life. It's not work. You go there and you do stuff, but not because you have to, because you like to do it. And this was a huge difference because the first time I talked to Nick, and I was like, everybody, okay, how much do I have to work every day? And he said, you will see, but you go down to your pond and you can clean the filter, let's say once a day, and that's it. And everything else is working by itself. No chemical, no stuff. That is true. But on one way, it's a trap, because you go down and you clean your filter, but half an hour later, you're still here, because you are amazed by the color of your fish. You can see frogs jumping in the pond, and you might jump in the pond too. And so this is different in terms of expectation. Good or not, for me it's fabulous, but it's my opinion.
We had explained to Nick that we wanted a waterfall or a pond and such, and Nick said, well, we're going to put in 3 waterfalls, or 3 types of cascades throughout the pond, and we're like, okay, that sounds kind of crazy, but it's a really cool, the way that it's placed in. Obviously the gigantic waterfall is peaceful. It's way more. We said boundary waters, you gave us boundary waters, and we said, oh, even at the last minute, even while we were in the middle of planning, we said it'd be really cool to have a little waterfall that maybe you could sit underneath it. It cascades over your head and spur just off this on the fly. Nick and Justin said, wow, we can try this and such, and in addition
so when you are in the process of doing that, say, okay, a rock is a rock. Put the rock there and it stays. It's like 500, 1,000 pounds. And when you look at this guy doing that, it takes 2 hours to put the rock, because you put the rock there. No, it's 2 inches, not the right way. The water is not going there. Holy crap! This is like painting a real life picture. You move the rock, and I remember one cascade, that is this one. It took like an entire afternoon for 3 guys to move the rocks the way it was, because Nick said, no, it's not exactly the way it should be. Yeah. And it starts by, you have to pick the right rock. You have to choose the right color of the rock. When you did that, you start to move the rock and try to put the three rocks together as a set.
Or you find a rock that's got a cool formation or a big
Yeah.
little bowl in it, and you say, oh, that'll be good at this spot.
And so this is, you know, this is where it's not construction, it's become, I would say, art or water
Work of
design,
art, yeah.
and it's what we have every day, and it's alive. It's not dead, it's really alive.
Even we needed a transition to go over the, this is something that we weren't even thinking about when we first started, but we needed a transition to get from one side of the waterfall to the other. And we didn't want just a walking path or an ugly bridge. And Justin, I don't know, Justin, if you found that rock or if Nick found it, but the bridge that you put for the transition was really cool.
You know, we both are business people, so we know how to submit a bid and how to pick a contractor. So we did what we have to do, and we get a lot of different offers. The key question is actually a lot of people that are probably good landscaper, building grass and, you know, retain wall and planting tree. Yeah, so you deal with contractor landscaper, and it gives you a good price range. So when you have your price range, you go back to Pond King and say, okay, this is what should be the price, and this is business. You negotiate that. But after that, the worst that can happen is not to pay maybe a little bit too much, is to pay something that doesn't work. Because the key point is you buy an ecosystem. If your ecosystem is wrong, doesn't work. And so in this case, it's not, oh, I pay $2,000 more. No, you can lose $20,000, $15,000 or $25,000. This is a big deal. So you really have to select someone that really can talk about water, can talk about fish, can talk about, you know, natural filtration, can talk about quality of the water, not only to put, you know, 29 tons of rock together. And this is a deal. And actually, if you do a good job, you have no choice, because we look, and you know, if you look around Minnesota or Middle West, you don't have a lot of people able to do that.
I think another really important thing to think about too is that with Pond King, it wasn't only business, but also an opportunity to be creative as well. I think sometimes getting that mix of, because I feel like I'm a little bit more on the emotional, creative side, and DJ's a little bit more on the business and logic side, and I think it's a good combination, and I think Pond King has a good mix of that. So you know, when we change our mind in the middle of I think this is a huge thing to say about Pond King, because we've had contractors do other types of work in our house before, so it's not the first time we've hired someone to do something. But in the middle of a project, we might say, I just had another idea. And if I would bring it to Justin or to Nick, they wouldn't say, you gotta be kidding me. I never had that. We never had, you gotta be kidding me. It's always but like, hey, that's a good idea. And what about this too? And so you encourage, and it's cool because when you're putting together a work of art, you don't know what the end's gonna be like at the beginning of the project. So you see something coming together and you have more ideas that make it even better.
Knowledge, involvement, passion, and you didn't work for us, you worked for the project. And even today, I'm sure that you like and you are proud of what you did. So you didn't work for a check, you worked for a piece of art that is based on rock, water, plant, and fish. This is what you do, and this is what I bought. Yeah, one addition comment that I was surprised is that so I can see sometimes 4 guys, 5 guys on the project, and you know, have a comment. I said, look, these guys they have experience, but they act like they're friends from high school. They joke, and who is the boss? I don't know who is the boss really, because they talk like a group of 4 or 5 people that know each other and they know exactly what they do and stuff. And I had a question. I say, where is your team coming from? How did you build this team that work like they don't need to talk? They know what they do and joke and stuff like that. And I was right. They were friends from high school. And so for the last, I don't know, 10 years, I believe, these guys that develop a knowledge as a team about what they're doing. And it's really a tremendous power. It's not one guy that say do that. It's a team of brains that work together with 4 or 5 brains together. It's really powerful. So this is a big difference, and I think it's what you buy, and it's doesn't exist, at least around here in any other companies.
All right. Voila.
I didn't say something.
Yeah.
My water is still not clear.
Cut!